Hello everyone, this is Jeff of TAOFLEDERMAUS. Today we have something a little different for you. We have shotgun shells that were made by the 3D printer process. These were designed and 3D printed by our good friend Michael Yeah. And for Michael, it's not a question of whether it's practical or not, it's just a question of whether it can be done or not. Since I know very little about 3D printing, Michael has created a video showing how he made it, and if you have any questions, go over there and ask him. Haha.
This is a little break action shotgun that Artisan Tony sent us. Artisan Tony down here in the comment section has been a big fan of the TFM site for some time and chats back and forth with us quite often. He, along with many of you, decided that we needed a break action shotgun to load some of those long goofy rounds in. So Artisan Tony donated this shotgun, sent a brand new shotgun out to Jeff to be used here on the site. It's a fold in half shotgun. It's made by Hunt Group in Turkey and imported by Fed Arms in Arkansas, Fort Smith, Arkansas. As you can see, the little thing folds down into a nice little compact package. It's normally a very lightweight little shotgun. Jeff had to put a pound of birdshot,
4 pounds.
4 pounds of birdshot into the buttstock of this thing to keep it from breaking through my shoulder on each shot. So hoping to help some of the recoil. It folds open, snaps shut, thumb cock, and a release, and then when it's time to unload, you just pull back on the trigger guard and the thing breaks open. It does not automatically eject the shell like Hollywood. You do have to pull out the 12 gauge round, throw it away, and put in the next one. So big thanks, big shout out to Artisan Tony. We might also call this the Little Tony. The Little Tony. It's an 18-inch barrel.
No, 20 inch. Shotgun. 20 inch.
It's a 20 inch?
Yeah.
I don't know how they get 20 inches.
I measured it from the breech. That's 20 inches.
Well,
yeah.
That's a 20-inch barrel there, folks. That's a short little barrel.
And it's a cylinder bore.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can fire all kinds of slugs out of there safely without risking damaging the end of this. So let's give it a try. Hey, we're going to try out first today a 3D printed shotgun shell sent to us by Michael Yeah. You've seen his stuff here before. This time he sent the entire 3D printed shotgun shell. It includes the base with a primer and includes the entire shell there, so that's pretty cool. Inside this thick-walled version, you can see that's pretty thick right there. Inside the thick-walled version, we've got a 50 caliber lead ball mounted over 25 grains of black powder. We don't expect this one to be a whole lot of thump, a lot of recoil, because the explosion in this thing only has a very short distance. This thing is essentially acting like the barrel, and we don't expect the pressure to build up a whole lot. Even though we're shooting it out of a 20-inch shotgun barrel, the pressure really is only building up in this short little barrel here before it flies downrange. So let's give it a try through Blackjack, the break-action shotgun.
Okay, can you hit a target at 10 yards with it? Anytime.
That's an interesting flight pattern because I know it's dead on to the red circle. All right, so Michael, part of her shell broke off, and it looks like it is in the barrel there.
Okay, that's what came out of the barrel, everything.
And remember, that thing started out that long.
Yeah.
So 50% of that shell actually broke off and flew down the barrel and came out the muzzle.
We'll have to see what the high speed looks like.
In this piece, we just tapped out with a ramrod, a cleaning rod.
Yeah.
This piece came out the back, so it did separate somewhere right in there.
Looking at the Chronos high-speed camera footage, we can see that the shell actually broke apart, essentially becoming a cut shell. Oddly, even though the lead ball was just held in there with a couple patches, it never released from that section of shell. See if we have the same results. Okay, I'm ready.
Left again.
The second shot was nearly identical to the first. Incidentally, I spoke to Jorg Sprave and he let me know that his Chronos high-speed camera has been shipped, so we'll be able to see awesome footage like this very soon on his channel.
12 gauge round that Michael calls the 20 gauge because the inside diameter here is actually 20 gauges wide. You'll see the rubber paintball that's been jammed down in there, just like this one here. Nice soft rubber paintball that Jeff inserted in there. A couple of these have 2 balls. It's important to have 2 balls.
20 grains of long shot in those things. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Here we go. Good grief. Hit him in the ear. I'm not even sure that had any recoil whatsoever.
It had a little tiny pop to it.
There we go. Good grief.
Now this shell was a little bit thinner than the 50 caliber shell, and it just really broke apart when it was shot. This gives you an idea how much pressure and how much force is applied to projectiles in a shotgun barrel.
All right, Jeff can't remember what's in this one. However, 12 gauges, we're gonna put it in there, tape and all. Let's see what it does.
20 gauge, I know it has 20 grains of long shot though. It might be one of those yellow balls, I don't remember.
OG's gonna pull the trigger on this grab bag round. We'll see what happens. It's been nice knowing you guys.
Squint, just squint when you shoot it.
Again. Bink, boom. That one I could hear the hammer go down, and then the...
Yeah. Bird shot.
20 grains of long shot, little charge of bird shot. I'm gonna throw it in there with tape and all. I have
The
confidence.
tape can only help.
I have confidence this one's gonna redeem it.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
that one had quite a bit more recoil.
Yeah. I don't. What kind of shape is that shell in though?
Once again, pretty typical separation down here. We've got nothing in the bore but a bunch of fouling and garbage. I don't know if you can see that. Looks like a Fiat's tailpipe.
That's getting ugly in there.
Yep. We'll take a look down range. All right, Michael. Your rounds are redeemed because we were aiming here. We got a good spread of bird shot that hit with pretty decent force because look at over here.
Yeah, they all went through.
It didn't just bounce off the cardboard.
Yeah, and it had a good boom to it.
Now this is one of the thinnest shells that he sent. It had a 12 gauge opening, so the wall thickness of the shell was really thin on these. Now despite that, using 1 ounce of projectile, the lead shot, the shell actually functioned quite well.
6, it might be 9 buck, double-aught buck in there. Okay, are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, hit it.
Oh. That one has some stout recoil.
Those suckers went way out in the water out there.
And we've got at least 3 buck balls that have hit the heart.
We start seeing some more scary stuff on this one. We see a big flash of burning gases coming out of the breech, the gap between the barrel and the receiver. But despite that, the shell functioned quite well.
This was the surprise of the day. Aiming right here for the center. 6 of the 9 buckshot balls hit inside the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the same hole. 5, 6. Out here is 7, 8, and 9.
That's pretty good grouping for buckshot.
Pretty typical buckshot groups from a homemade shell.
10 yards.
Not bad, so...
I did put 9 in there.
Yeah, we counted them
I need to take better notes, I think.
Right in Archer's little core zone.
Yeah. Wow.
So, Michael, these things haven't been a complete stew of misery yet. Stew of Misery, by the way, is the name of my newly printed, unauthorized autobiography, the Officer Greg story.
The Officer Greg, Stew of Misery, what happened?
Stew of Misery, what happened story. All right, Lee, key drive slugs. Because we're not getting crazy enough, I still have all my fingers. Let's try a slug in here.
20 grains of long shot. California, is that the symbol of California there?
Yeah.
They replaced the bear with a unicorn.
The unicorn state.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
I'm ready. Ah.
What did that do? I saw it way out there.
You start to understand why some shots miss when you can see the external ballistics as we see here. The slug is tumbling through the air. We could even hear it chirping as it tumbled through the air.
For better or for worse. It's something.
You hit it.
This one was a little more accurate, probably by accident, but you can see that I had loaded a lead slug along with one of those yellow paintball reballs in this shell.
Okay, what do you got there?
Well, I got a wax slug I just loaded into the old blackjack. I'm going to fire a wax slug at the Cal Unicornia downrange.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The hydrostatic unicorn, how'd it fare?
We have long been fans of the wax slug, the homemade wax slug that you guys have seen Jeff spoon into a slug here on the TFM channel. That thing is damn accurate. Aiming right there, hit right there, boop, and blew all of his little hopes and dreams all over his Cal Unicornia fluff, all over the ground.
We're still finding pieces of Michael's shells all over the place over here.
That's funny, there wasn't much recoil.
Hey, I just want to thank my Patreons. We suddenly got a bunch more the last few days. I appreciate all you guys and your support. Don't forget to check out Michael's video and check out his channel. He's a really smart, really nice guy, and he puts out some awesome videos.